Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 74. It is Wednesday morning. It is early in the morning. I have a long day today. So we're going to start it off by doing some work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to run to a casino that's not too far from home. We're going to get an hour or so in at that casino, maybe do a couple laps in there, and then we are going to head toward home. We're going to get some personal work done, get some things wrapped up that I've been meaning to do for a while. I am going to check my work for the office, make sure that's all caught up. Then I'm going to take a kid to the doctor this afternoon, early afternoon. Then I'm going to drop them off at home. Then I'm going to drive 3.5 hours to my second casino of the day. And from there, we're going to have a long day. 99% chance it'll be an overnight, and so it'll be a day and a half of non-stop play, most likely, unless I get a room, in which case I may get a few hours of sleep. So it's going to be a long one. Right now it's 59 degrees, light rain, and I am heading off to my first casino. The goal here is just to be able to make just a little bit of money, 100 or two. There's not going to be a lot of opportunity because people check this overnight and early in the morning, so there's not going to be much chance, but you never know. You never know who the last person who was there was, and there may be some opportunities for us to make money. So we're going to start with this, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So I walk into this place and start finding plays right away, and finding spectacular plays, like unbelievable plays that you never find, and most of them fizzled out, and I ended up with very little, and it was extremely disappointing. And although I did win money and I did come out ahead, a decent amount of money, I should have been ahead thousands, honestly. And it's a little discouraging, but you got to keep going and doing the right thing, and in the long run it does pay what it's supposed to pay. But when you sit down at a machine and your expected value on it is super high, like $700 or $800 on a $3 spin, and you end up with 50 or 60, it's pretty easy to get discouraged. So anyway, I walked around a few times and looked at everything. I found one machine when I initially walked in that was a borderline play, and I thought, I don't think I want to do this, maybe I'll look at it later on if nothing else is happening. But I ended up finding a lot of decent plays that I played through. I probably got a lot of points too. I didn't even look at that, but I'm sure I ran many thousands of dollars through their machines, and I ended up leaving ahead $323. Now, while I was in there, I did see a guy playing who I know, who is not an AP, but he's always in there, always talking to me and stuff. And he was telling me about these great opportunities on these machines that were all junk. And some people will just always be what they are. I mean, what can you do? I'm not here to raise his family, so I got to take care of myself first. But anyway, yeah, I was in and out of there in about an hour or so, and plus 323. Right now I am going to get some gas, and then I will head toward home. Let me think here. If I get gas, if I wait as long as I can and then get gas when I'm completely out, head home, take the kid to the doctor, and then back home again. By the time I get to the first casino, I'll be just about out of gas again, so I'll have to stop there. Now, what are you going to do? So, anyway, heading toward home right now. I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So, it's about 7 hours after I left home now. Just finished up at the doctor's, took my kid back to school, all that's done. So now it's afternoon, and I'm not feeling the best, but we're going to press on. We're moving on right now to another city, still about 2.5 hours from here. And we're going to do some slot play there. Then we're going to move on to another region where we're going to play about 5 different sessions of blackjack, and then figure out what we're doing for the night. So it's still early, but got a long way to go, and it's going to be getting pretty close to dark by the time I get to my final destination, at least that city. And we have a meeting starting in about 1 minute at the office, and even though I'm not supposed to be there today, I promised to be part of the meeting because it's an interview with another possible new person. So I'm going to let you go right now. I'm going to hop in on that meeting, and I'll be back soon. Oh man, this is why I like to leave at 6 in the morning. What a long day already. I haven't even done anything yet, and it's a long day. I did send over all the paperwork for my slot trip that I'm doing in Vegas, and that should be all set to go. And I had to fill out a W-9 for the value of the trip, which they have at $3,600, which is a little crazy, for 2 plane tickets and a room for 3 nights and food. I mean, that's a lot of money. I also called the Wynn and was able to secure a room there for 2 of the 3 nights. I guess the 3rd night there's something big going on, so even a basic room is like $1,300. So I said, that's all right, just give me the first 2 nights. Most of the time, this is a nice shortcut, especially if you play rated, which I do at the Wynn, because I'm a little guy at the Wynn, because I sit at tables that are like $100 to $25,000 or higher. Could be $50,000 or higher. So since I'm playing rated, I'm a nobody. I'll be playing 100 a hand on a double deck. Someone will sit down next to me betting $10,000 at a time. But because I'm playing rated there, they see me in the system. You can rat hole. You can do card pulling on the slots. All those different things to show a big loss. Or you can lose organically like I did last time, made a fool of myself. But if you lose, or as long as you're giving them action, especially, you can usually ask for another day and they'll give it to you. So even though it's supposed to be booked for that last day, I bet if I go to them about midnight the night before, the day before I'm supposed to leave, like 12 hours before, and I ask the host for an extension, I bet they'll give it to me. So right now I've got the one casino for 3 nights. I've got the Wynn for 2 nights, and I sent a message to my host at Caesars to get the Caesars room with my 7 stars trip for 3 nights, which will give me $1,200 in free play, 2 free Starbucks per day, whatever it is, 600 in food or something like that. So I'm going to have, between the 3 casinos, something like $1,500 or more in free food. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully we win some money this time, and I'm ready for that trip. But right now I'm in the car, still heading off to the first casino of this portion of the day, and I am already just ready to get out of the car. I'm not really tired, I'm just antsy. I'm ready to go, ready to make some money. So right now, normally I would be on my way home from these casinos, but I'm just getting things rolling here. So I'm gonna let you go for now. I don't know how far. I'm only probably about 20 or 30 minutes away from the casino. I'm trying to look to see here for a mile marker. Looks like I am 11 miles away from the casino, and I'll be back to update you when I'm done. Alright guys, I'm back. I wish I had more good news for you, but so far it's been pretty packed. I go into this place, which is normally pretty tame, not a big deal. Sometimes you have some older people in here, but never really have too much of a problem finding something. And today was a little bit different. Today was very packed, very busy. I noticed that a lot of people who were checking machines at this place are people I've never seen before. And not only have I never seen them before, but the age group is very unusual. They're all older ladies, probably in their 70s, late 60s, somewhere in there, and they were checking. So I don't know if these guys are part of a group that's traveling the country, or they all live here and I'll see more of them, or what's going on, but I've never seen these people before in my life. And every machine I walked up to an old lady walked up to it and started, punching buttons, and I'm like, what is going on here? Never seen these people before. So anyway, I really couldn't find anything to play. Finally, someone got up from a machine. I sat down, and I couldn't believe my eyes. At every level, there was some kind of a play. I played them, and most of them fizzled out and really wasn't much going on. And then the last play I made actually went pretty well. And I was down actually, I had bought in for a total of 200. And I was down to my last $7, and it hit for 300 and something dollars. And I ended up leaving ahead 119. So I was only in there probably 25 minutes, went through the whole place. Everything was busy. A lot of people waiting around, waiting for people to get up. So that wasn't going to be any good for me. So I decided just to move on. So our next location is about an hour from here. I'm supposed to be meeting 1 or 2 people here, and we're going to be discussing some plans that we have, and we will see what happens with that. I'm going to try to get 5 sessions of blackjack in between now and midnight, and we'll see if we can do that or not. It's just going to be a matter of finding tables that are open and that are not packed. So lots of times on days like today, they'll be either dead in there and all the tables will be closed, or they'll have a few tables open and they'll be packed. So hopefully that's not the case today. We can get some playtime in. So right now, let me just give you an idea of where we are and what's going on here. A little bit hazy skies, some clouds, 65 degrees, sun on and off. It's a nice day. It's, you don't need a coat or anything outside, so it's pretty decent. And I'm about to continue on to my next stop. Actually, I don't know if I should do this or not. There is a place where there is a bridge out. They're rebuilding this bridge, and this place has like the best beef jerky, but I can only hit it if I'm going in this direction. So I'm thinking about stopping by there and getting some beef jerky. One of my boys really likes it a lot. He wanted me, next time I was in this area, to get him something weird, like they have Dr. Pepper flavored, or all kinds of odd flavors, molasses type things, and like cereal flavors, odd things like that. So maybe I'll get him a little something, get myself something, and then continue on my trip. So that place from where I am right now is about 20 miles away, and then I'll continue on to the next casino. One other thing before I forget it. So, after I went on the European trip, I had a bunch of British pounds left. I had about 2,600 in British pounds left from my trip. So I decided to take it to the bank. So before I did all this, before I left for my trip, I went to the bank and I asked a lot of questions. I wanted to make sure that I understood how things worked, and I was greatly disappointed. I'm still going to make a couple phone calls to the bank about some international fees and things that they put on there that are totally unreasonable, but I did catch them a day or two into the trip and ended up changing over to a Chase credit card instead, and I didn't have any, as far as I can see yet, on there. So I go to the bank. I went to the bank initially, and they said, whatever the market price is, we will buy the money from you for that rate minus $8. So I'm like, okay, if I have $3,000, whatever the market rate, let's say I break even on the market rate, and then I pay $8, I'm good with that, so no big deal. So I go there today, since I had a little bit of time, and I say, here's the money. And they say, okay. They counted it about 9 times. You count it, I'll count it, let me count it again. How much did you say it was? I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. So after we counted the money over and over again and had other people count it, they put it in the computer, and she said, okay, this is what you're gonna get. And she's got it at $1.17. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, it's $1.26 today for a pound, and you're gonna pay me out at $1.17 rate. So I said, there's no way. I'm not taking 8 or 9% hit on this money. So I said, you guys told me, blah, blah, blah earlier. And she's like, oh, no, that's not what we meant. We meant whatever's in the computer. Well, shoot, I can get anybody in here. I could say, we'll pay you $5 if you bring in your money, and then give them some crazy rate. That's ridiculous. So I said, no way, lady, I'm not doing that. And I started looking online. I found some places that would buy it, but they're mainly in England who would buy it. So I thought, well, I just, put it on hold for now. I'll deal with it later on. I sent a message to my friend that I bought the money from originally, and he said he would buy it back. So, he doesn't have to, but I appreciate it if he did. Otherwise, maybe next year, instead of going to Greece and Italy like we planned, we would go to Ireland and Scotland and Wales. That's always a possibility. I could use the money as an excuse to go there. All right. I don't know if I told you how I ended up plus 119, I believe it was. And I am moving on, and I will be back with you soon. All right, guys, I am back, and I am tired. I don't know why, but I'm tired. So I walk into the next casino, looking around, just see a couple small plays, lose a couple dollars, go play some blackjack, just a small spread, like 1 to 8, 1 to 10. Somewhere in there. Just never really got any big counts anyway, so it didn't really matter. Played around for a while and finally got up ahead 525. It was a very do-nothing session, low counts, not even low count, neutral counts most of the time, and didn't really get a chance to raise too much, so I was glad to get away from that table. And then went back to slot machines, lost about $20, looked around some more, won a little bit back and forth. Just all slot machines and tables were all neutral today at this casino. And I ended the session ahead 525 on the blackjack and $26 on the slots. So nothing really big, but we made money, so we're going to move on here. We're going on to another casino. This one, I think we have a good chance of playing some bigger blackjack and staying under the radar. So if everything is going well, we're going to continue to try to hit it and make a little bit bigger money at this casino. There are some slots here too that are pretty decent. There's a lot of people checking them. So I'm going to make my rounds and check them real quick before I play, and then play a little bit, and then on the way out, just take a quick lap as well and see. And I may be meeting a friend here as well. So that may be in the next couple hours. So we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, really not much going on at the moment. There's some possible things that I might be doing tonight with someone, but nothing has really come through yet. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, and what a wasted opportunity I just had there. I was in a high limit area, and I was spreading 100 to 500, and then I noticed something weird was going on. Someone was standing behind me, and then two people were standing behind me, and they had badges. Never seen these people before. I'm positive that they don't work for the casino. So I'm starting to pay attention a little bit, and I'm steadily losing 100. I'm down like $1,500 at this point. And I noticed that these people have badges, and I figure out that they are with gaming. So there's two of them, and they're harassing the heck out of these dealers. They're like, what's your name? What's your badge number? Let me see. Do you have it with you? Do you have your license? Blah, blah, blah. Asking them all these questions. And I'm playing, right? I'm playing, and they're coming up to my dealer asking them questions. And the pit is going nuts. They got about 5 pit bosses back there going nuts, scrambling and all this stuff. And then as soon as they start talking or they walk away, someone buys in for money. And then they're freaking out because these guys are watching them and all this stuff. So I decide to go and start each shoe with 2x100 and go up to 2x500, and if it goes negative, just drop to one hand. And then I didn't mind going back to 2 hands if the count was good. So, but at least I was starting the shoe with 2 hands. And I start playing that way, and I'm playing and playing, and I'm losing steadily, and I'm losing hands disgustingly. You know, those hands where there was one hand where I had I had two soft hands. I didn't double either one. And I had like 4 cards and 4 cards, and the dealer got 7 cards. And it was like, you know how these hands are. I mean, I can't remember the exact situation, but I remember looking at it, and the dealer had like a full house, you know, and I had like 3 of a kind. It was like a poker hands or something. I had so many cards out there, and just couldn't make any headway. So I'm in for 1,500. I buy in for 500 more. I'm in for 2,000. The count starts going up. I rebuy for 1,000. Now I'm in for 3. The count's going up. I'm raising my bets. I buy in for another 1,000. Now I'm in for 4. I get down to my last 300, and I have a double down hand. I'm all in, and I have a double down hand. I'm down to my last 600. I have 300. I had a good hand over there, whatever it was. The other one was a 10 or 11. I needed to double it, so I get 300 more. So I'm in for 4,300, and at that point, I won that hand. And the rest of the shoe went kind of well, so I'm up to like 2,500 to 3,000. And then I bopped around between 3,000 and 4,000 for half an hour. And, you know, I'm spreading. It's a good spread, but, you know, whenever I get a chance, it goes nowhere. So eventually I get 400 away. I've got 2 hands out there of 200. I lose them. This happens 3 or 4 times. And then next thing you know, I start to slide again. And I'm down to my last like 1,900 again. Then things turn around again. And then toward the end, I was down about 300 or 400, and the count starts going negative. I dropped to 1 hand. I didn't want to drop to 1 hand, right? I mean, you know, 2 hands at 100 is better than 1 hand at 100, but the count starts going to be, you know, it's like a true -2. And then it got worse. But as it was getting worse, I was winning these single hands. And then I got to a point where I had a running -11, and I got exactly even. I've got a deck and a half to go. They're cutting it about a deck deep, and I just decided to get up. I color up exactly 4,300, and I'm ready to leave. And the dealer says, "Why don't you put 1 more 100 out there, and if you win, you'll be ahead." No, thank you. Because she wants her tip, right? She wants to be right. And then, did you want 4 quarters for that? You know, you can just see how they're going to play that game. So I said no, and I took a walk. So I go to the high limit area cashier, and I cash out 2,700. And then I go to the low limit cashier, and I cash out the other 1,600. And I'm all done. And now I'm down like $20 on slots. I play a few more. All of a sudden I'm down like 110, then I claw my way back and eventually get to the point where I'm ahead like $100. No, I'm sorry, $1. Get my chips and my vouchers mixed up here. I'm ahead like $1.15, and I just decide, you know, I've been around this place like 20 times, and I'd been in there for 2 hours. I played blackjack for about an hour and a half, and I just decided to walk away. So I ended up even on the blackjack, and I had $1 on the slots, and thankful for it. And it was a real wasted opportunity, because by the time I got back to even, those guys were gone, and I had a pit boss standing next to me, allegedly just talking to me, but who knows what she was really doing. So, you know, like I said yesterday, I'm like candy to these people. They just want to hang out with me and talk to me and look at me. So what are you going to do? It's a curse. Anyway, right now I'm at the next casino. I just got a call as I was recording this, so I'm going to give them a call back. I'm going to call the family back and say goodnight to them, and then I'll be back and let you know what happens at the next spot. All right, guys, I am back. So I moved on to another casino and was not very enthusiastic about going to that casino because lately I haven't been able to play any games there. But I went there anyway, did my normal routine, although at a way different shift than normal. And I walked in, looked around, looked at some slots, found one that I liked, played that one, won like $100 or so on that one. Had a pretty decent bet level. I mean, it paid pretty decently considering it was only about $1 a spin. So did that, and then went and looked at blackjack. So I go to the blackjack area, and there are 2 tables open. One has 3 people on it, and the other one is empty. So I walk around to the one that's empty, and it has a reserved sign on it. Okay, fine. I guess I'm not playing blackjack right now, right? So then I notice an odor. I'm like, oh, not this again. What is this? And what it is there's a VIP room close to the high limit room, and they must have had fish today. And the whole high limit area smelled like fish. It smelled pretty bad, actually. And even the last place I was at, I never realized it, but they had some kind of a high limit, high roller eating area there as well. And it was so packed that they had a line of people to get in there. So I ended up walking away, looked at some more slots, came back, and there was a table that only had one person on it at this point, and he was just finishing up a shoe. Sat down, the cut card came out, I started playing. I played for a short while. The guy was kind of annoying. He was playing 2 hands, he was playing the side bet, he was annoyed with every move that I made. So at the end of a shoe, I was ahead like exactly 500, and I got up and left ahead 500. Not a lot of drama on that table other than that as far as the cards. So I made 500 playing blackjack. And then I played some slots, like I said, and I ended up ahead 165 on the slots. So, not bad. Making money, moving in the right direction. Still way below where I was this time last week, but whatever. We made, almost 1,500 today? That's nothing to be upset about. So we're going to move on. We're going to check out some more slots at another place. We're going to check the tables. I may or may not play it, just depending on how busy it is. I'm finding these places are extremely busy inside. And then by the time I got out to the parking lot, the last place, I noticed it was starting to thin out. So with it being Wednesday, maybe now, when I go back in some of these places, it won't be so busy, and I'll be able to play some more and more freely. So that's what's going on right now. I did get some pizza, some deep dish pizza. What did you eat today, MW? I had 2 things. I had, before I left home, I had a Dave's Double, which was $2 through the app. And then I just had a deep dish pizza. I didn't finish the whole thing, which is probably good. And I'm putting it back in the box right now, what's left of it. And I'm going to have a little drink here. And then I'm going to go in and hopefully make some more money. So I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Oh boy, not having a good time. Right now, struggling to make money. I went into the next place and sat down at a $50 table, and I spread from one hand at $50 up to 2 hands at $600. Played for an hour and 10 minutes, and basically from the first hand to the last hand, I was in negative territory. I finally broke even on the last hand and ended my session ahead $100. But it was a very slow process. My first shoe, I had 7 winning hands, 4 blackjacks, and 3 regular hands for the whole shoe. And that started the downslide. And although I did spread to 2 by 600, the most I was down was only about 2,500 or so. And just when the counts were negative, I was slowly eroding my money. And when it was positive, I was basically chopping. And I did have a good little run at the end of that last shoe to finish the session ahead. $100. So not great to be risking that kind of money for that long. for $100, but it's probably about what EV was. Probably a little under EV. And then I played slots for about another, 45 minutes or so. And there were a lot of people in there, but I found some opportunities. But that didn't go very well either. I was down as much as 300. My biggest play was only $1. No, I had some $5 ones. But I ended my session, I had $7 on the slots. So plus 100 on the blackjack, plus 7 on the slots. I have no idea where we are right now. Right now it's raining. It's 55 degrees. Let me see. 3, 450, 950, 975, 1,000 and 0, 1,500, 1750. Not terrible, but not great. But I'm up about 1,750 for the day. It's been a very long day. I don't have a place to stay tonight. It's almost midnight now, and I am going to go head off to another casino and kind of figure out how I feel and all that, and then decide the direction I'm going to go from here. If I'm going to just continue on all night, or if I'm going to go to a hotel somewhere, or what I'm going to do. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, here's what I decided. As I'm pulling into the next casino, by the time I get out of this casino, it's going to be way past midnight. I think I am going to start a new episode tomorrow. I've got tons of meetings in the morning. I'm thinking about just working through the night. I also see all kinds of investigations that I need to look at. Let's see, tomorrow is Thursday. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meetings. 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. So it's going to be kind of a rough day. Actually, those are really not going to work well for me, because I'm supposed to be meeting with some APs tomorrow in the afternoon, right at the time that these meetings are, which is very bad. So I may have to come up with some kind of an excuse or take a partial day off or something to get out of those meetings. I'm not sure yet. I have to verify that the meeting with the APs is definitely going to happen. So right now I'm going to close out this episode, and we'll start a new one, and it'll be the one for Thursday. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.